Hello students, welcome to VisionQ YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be discussing the second part of the mock test discussion. The first part of which we have already discussed, and it is the link of which you will get in the description box. So please watch the first video, let us set a video first, and then you can come to this video which is of set B. So same as the previous set, this set of questions will be again of 20 questions only, which are important for all types of examination, banking, SSC, railway, plus all other central and state level exam. So if you have not subscribed to our channel, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more such videos in the future. And also please do press the bell icon so that you will get notifications about different videos in the future. And do watch this video from starting till the end to get the concepts clear of all the types of questions asked in the exam. So friends, let us start the video today. And the first questions will be from 1 to 5. So these are questions of the topic of simplification, a very important part in all the examination. So it is asked to find out value in the place of this question mark in the following questions. Now I can see here, these are basically some mixed fractions. Okay, it is 1, 2 by 5 divided by 1, 5 by 16 into question mark, okay, let this question mark be x is equal to 4. Now if I break 1, 2 by 5, it becomes how much? 7 by 5 divided by, okay, if I break 1, 5 by 16, it becomes 21 by 16 into x is equal to 4. Now 7 by 5 divide by 21 by 16. Okay, if I convert this division to multiplication, it becomes the reciprocal, which is 16 by 21 into x is equal to 4. Now just cancel out the common parts on both the sides. Now 7 3s are 21 and 4 4s are 16. And if I cross multiply after this step, I will get the value of 4x equal to 15. So x will be equal to how much? 15 by 4, which will be equal to 3 by 4. The correct answer of this question number 1 is option number A, which is 3 by 4. Now this simplification question was based on the concept of mixed fraction or fraction, a very important part of the examination. So second question is again of simplification. It is based on the concept of percentage. Okay, 50 into x plus 20% of 450 equal to 360. So 15x plus 20% of 450 will be equal to 360. Now I can find this percentage first, or I can cancel out the common parts. Okay, if I see these numbers very carefully, I can see that all these numbers have 15 common in them. 15x has 15 common, 20% of 450 has 15 common in 450, and 360 is also divisible by 15. So let me cancel by 15. 15 ones are 15, 15 3s are 45 and 0. 15 2s are 30, 15 4s are 60. So it becomes what? X plus 20% of 30 is equal to 24. Now 20% of 30, okay, we know that with percentage always 2 zeros can be cancelled out, because we know percentage means divide by 100. So with percentage, that is with 2 0, or with percentage always 2 zeros can be cancelled out. So it becomes x plus 6 equal to 24. So x will be equal to how much? 24 minus 6, which is 18. The right answer is option number E, which is 18. So next is the question number 3. It is given that 50% of 128 plus 2 into 4 is equal to x plus 10. Now 50% means half, and half of 128 is 64. So 64 plus 2 into 4 is 8. Okay, bring this 10 to left hand side. It becomes minus 10 is equal to x. So x will be equal to how much? 64 plus 8 is 72, and 72 minus 10 is 62. Answer is option number B, 62. Question number 4 is again a very important question based on the concept of percentage. 48% of 125 plus question mark cube equal to 185. So our first aim is to find out this value of this question mark. Now how to find 48% of 125? This is the most important part here. To find 48% of 125 easily in minimum steps, You just need to remember one very important concept of percentage, which is x% of y is always equal to y% of x. That means you can interchange the places of x and y. You can bring y here and you can bring x here. Okay, x% of y will be equal to y% of x. The value of these two will be always be the same. Now 48% of 125 can be written as what? 125% of 48, isn't it? 125% of 48. Okay, our aim is to find the value easily. So I applied this technique in this question, that x% of y equal to y% of x. Now 125% can be found easily. Okay, how to find 125%? Just break it as what? 100% plus 25% of 48. Now 100% of 48, okay, 100% of a number is the number itself, which is 48. 25% means 1 by 4 of 48. So 4 12s are 48 and 12 plus 48 is 60. So value of this percentage is 60. So 60 plus x cube is equal to 185. So x cube will be equal to how much? 185 minus 60, which will be 125. And we know 5 cube is 125. So value of x will be equal to 5 because 5 cube is equal to 125. The right answer of this question number 4 is option number A, 5. So this is the last question of this question of simplification, question number 5 in front of you. Okay, x divided by 5 divided by 7. Now x, okay, x divided by 5, then this divided by 7, it is nothing but what? X divided by 5 into 7, which is 35. So now this value in bracket, it becomes x divided by 35 into 14. Okay, this whole term consists of x. So let me transpose the other term to the right hand side portion. So 420 minus 112. Okay, it becomes how much? It becomes 8, it becomes 0, and it becomes 3. Okay, the value is 308. If you say here, common is 7 here. Okay, 7 2s are 14, 7 5s are 35. Then cancel by 2. 2 15s are 30, and 2 4s are 8. Okay, then x will be equal to how much? 154 into 5. So if I multiply this number by 5, okay, it becomes 770. The right answer is option number D, 770. So these were the 5 important questions of the topic of simplification. A very important part asked in the examination. So next in front of you will be some word problems. Okay. So this question number 6 is a question of the topic of time and work. It says that P is thrice as good a workman as Q and is therefore able to finish his piece of work in 60 days less than Q. Okay, now we know everyone, efficiency and time is inversely proportional. Efficiency means 1 day work or 1 hour work. Now if efficiency of a person is more, he will take less time to complete the work. And if the efficiency of that person is less, he will take more time to complete that particular work. It is given that P is thrice as good as Q. It means P is 3 times efficient than Q. Now 3 times means the ratio of P is to Q will be how much? 3 is to 1. This is the efficiency ratio. If the efficiency of P is 3, efficiency of Q is 1, because it is given that P is thrice efficient than Q. Now we know efficiency and time is inversely proportional. So from efficiency ratio, always you can find out a time ratio. That is the time required by both of them to complete the work. It will be 1:3 because efficiency and time is always inversely proportional. That means if P takes 1 day to complete the work, Q will take 3 days. Okay. Now P takes 2 days less than Q as per ratio, because if P takes 1 day, Q takes 3 days. So P takes 2 days less than Q as per ratio. But in the question, it is given that P takes 60 days less than Q. So 2 will represent 60 days. If 2 is 60 days, then 1 represents 30 days. Okay, 1 represents 30 days. If 1 represents 30 days, then 3 represents 3 into 30 days, which is 90 days. So this is the time taken by P is 30 days and time taken by Q is 90 days. Now it is asked to find the time in which they can do the work working together. So P can do the work in 30 days. Q can do the work in 90 days. It is asked to find the time taken by P plus Q, isn't it? To find the time taken by P plus Q directly, you can apply a formula. Okay, now this formula I have discussed in the previous part of the last video. Okay, so if P can do a work in T1 days, Q can do the same work in T2 days, then P plus Q together can do the same work in T1 into T2 divided by T1 plus T2 days. In this case, T1 is 30 and T2 is 90. So T1 into T2 divided by T1 plus T2. So the value becomes how much? 30 into 90 divided by 30 plus 90 is 120. Now it's 0, 0 will be cancelled out. Then 3 4s are 12, 3 3s are 9. Then 2 2s are 4, 2 15s are 30. Now 50 into 3 is 45. And 45 divided by 2 becomes how much? 22.5 or 22 and a half days. So answer is option number D, 22 and a half days. So such questions are same. Pattern of the such question is same to do the questions. First find out the efficiency from the given condition. Then find out time. 2 will represent 60. To 1 represents 30. If 1 represents 30, 3 represents 90. So time taken by P is 30 days and time taken by Q is 90 days. And from these two times, you can find out the time taken by P plus Q applying the formula which is T1 into T2 divided by T1 plus T2. So next we'll discuss is the question number 7, a question of the topic of ratio. What should be added to the numerator and denominator so that the ratio of 4:7 becomes 2:3? Now what number should be added to both the terms of 4:7? Let the number added be x. Okay, if I add x to this 4, the first term becomes 4 plus x. And if I add the same number x to the second term is 7, the second term is now becomes 7 plus x. Now if I add a number x to both the numerator and the denominator of this ratio or the fraction, the resultant ratio of this value it is equal to 2:3. Now this is the basic approach to do the question, that is the using x. Now 4 plus x is to 7 plus x. It is nothing but 4 plus x divided by 7 plus x is equal to 2/3. So if I cross multiply, I can get the value of x. So it becomes how much? 12 plus twice x will be equal to 14 plus twice x. Twice x minus twice x is x and 14 minus 12 is 2. So right answer of this question number 7 is option number B, 2. Now this question can also be done without taking out x from the options also. Now you can see that a number is added to both these numbers 4 and 7. The ratio should be how much? 2:3. Now this number is given in the options only. So say from the options, okay, if I add 1, the first option is 1. Okay, if I add 1 to both these terms, then 4 plus 1 is 5. 7 plus 1 is 8. Now this fraction is not equal to 2/3. So first option is not the right option. Next option is, okay, I have to check the next option which is 2. Okay, if I add 4 with 2, it becomes 6. And if I add 7 and 2, it becomes 9. Now 6 is to 9. Okay, 3 is common here. 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9. So this ratio becomes 2:3. Now this ratio becomes 2:3. In what condition? If I add 2 to both the numbers 4 and 7. So the number to be added is 2, which is the option number B. So next in front of you is a question on the topic of trains. A question on the topic of trains. It says that length of train A is 200 meters And length of train B is L meters. Okay, this L is a variable. I need to find out this value of L. That is the length of train B. And train B crosses a pole in 8 seconds and 26 seconds respectively. Okay, in questions of trains, always starting point is the time. Okay, we know everyone, time is what? Distance divided by speed. Now, when a train crosses a pole, the distance equal to length of the train. Okay, when a train crosses a pole, it covers a distance equal to its own length, which is L. Divide by speed. Now, time taken by train A to cross the pole is 8 seconds. So, I can write down 8 will be equal to distance divided by speed. It is the length of A divided by speed of A. Now, length of A is already given. Okay, put the length of A in the given equation, 200. You will get the speed of A from here. Okay, 8 2s are 16, 8 5s are 40. So, speed of A becomes 25 meter per second. Because time is in seconds, the length or the distance is in meter. So, speed will be obtained in what? Meter per second. Now, if I read the question very carefully, I can see that in the last sentence, it is given that the ratio of the speed of train A to the speed of train B is 5:4. Now, speed of A is to speed of B is given as 5:4. Now, speed of A is 25. So, if 5 represents 25 meter per second, 1 represents 5 meter per second, then 4 represents 4 into 5, which will be 20 meter per second. So, this will be the speed of train B. So, I have found out the speed of train B from the speed of train A because the ratio of the speeds was given. So, if 5 is 25, 1 represents 5. If 1 represents 5, then 4 represents 4 into 5, which is 20. Next, it was given the time taken by train B to cross the same pole, which is 26 seconds. So, this 26 will be equal to what? Length of B divided by speed of B. So, 26 will be equal to length of B is given as L meters. Okay, put L here. Divided by speed of B. Okay, I have just found out the speed of B here, 20. So, length of B will be, L will be equal to what? 26 into 20, which is 520 meters. So, I have found out all the parameters of the length of the train. Length and the speed. Length of A is already given, 200 meters. So, I have found out the speed of A, 25 meter per second. And from there, I have found out the speed of B also. And I have used the speed of B to find out the length of B, which is 520 meters. Now, see what it is asked to find out. Okay, find the time taken by train A to cross train B when both the trains are running in opposite directions. So, it is asked to find what? Time taken by train A to cross train B. Okay, time taken by two trains to cross each other. Now, if two trains cross each other, okay, whenever two trains cross each other in the same direction or in opposite direction, distance travel will be equal to what? Length of train A plus length of train B. And speed will be the relative speed. So, if two objects cross in the opposite direction, I have to add the two speeds. That is speed of A plus speed of B. And if the two trains have crossed in same direction, then it is speed of A minus speed of B. So, length of A is 200 meters. Length of B is just found out 520 meters. Divided by speed of A plus speed of B. The speed of A is 25 and speed of B is 20. So, just try to find out the answer from here. So, 200 plus 520 is 720 and 25 plus 20 is 45. Now, 9 is common in both of them. Okay, 9 5s are 45, 9 8s are 72 and 0. Then 5 16s are 80. The right answer is 16 seconds. So, option number E is the correct answer of question number 8. So, this was a question of the topic of trains, a very important concept of the question of trains. So, next in front of you is a question of partnership topic. It is given that A invests X in a business. After 4 months, B joined him with twice X. And after 4 months, what happens? B doubles his investment. Okay, so in such questions, always I have to find out the profit ratio by multiplying investment with time. Investment multiplied by time of investment gives the profit ratio. Now, there are two partners in the business here, A and B. Okay, A invests X in the business first of all. Now, after 4 months, what happens? Okay, this investment of A will be for 4 months only. Okay, because it is given that after 4 months, what A does? A doubles his investment. So, this investment, that is X, will be for 4 months only. So, investment multiplied by time, which is 4 months. Now, at the end of 4 months, X doubles his investment. So, A doubles his investment. So, A's investment becomes twice X. So, if X was invested for 4 months, the remaining twice X will be invested for the remaining 8 months only. So, this is the investment ratio of, profit ratio of 8. This is the profit ratio of A, which is X into 4 plus twice X into 8. Now, come to B. Now, say B joined the business after 4 months with the investment of twice X. So, B's investment twice X will be for how many months? For 8 months only. Because B joins the business after 4 months. So, B will invest this amount twice X for 8 months only. Okay, so investment multiplied by time gives the profit. Now your aim is to find out this profit ratio of A is to B. Because in this topic of partnership, always we want the ratio of the profit. Now, if I see here X is common in all the both the sides. So, cancel by X. Again, 2 is common. Okay, 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2, 2 1s are 2. You can see that again 2 is common here. So, 2 1s are 2, 2 4s are 8 and 2 4s are 8. So, 1 plus 4 is to 4. So, the ratio of the profit becomes 5 is to 4. If A will get 5 rupees, B will get 4 rupees. The ratio is 5 is to 4. Now, at the end of the year, the total profit is 13950. So, total profit will be how much? 4 plus 5 is 9 as per ratio. But in the question, this total profit is given to be how much? 13950. So, 5 will represent 13950. Now, just cancel the common part here. Cancel by 9 here. Okay, 9 1s are 9. 9 5s are 45. Then 9 5s are 45 and 0. So, 1 represents 1550. Now, if 1 is 1550, it is asked to find out the profit share of A only. So, A will get 5 rupees as per ratio. So, if 1 represents 1550, then what is 5? So, 5 represents 1550 into 5. So, just try to find the answer here. So, it becomes how much? 7750. Answer is option number B, which is 7750. So, this was a question, important question based on topic of partnership. So, next we'll discuss is the question number 10. Again, a question of ratio only. It says that the ratio of the income of A to that of B is 5 is to 9. So, income of A is to income of B is given as 5 is to 9. Okay. So, income ratio of A is to income ratio of B is 5 is to 9. Expenditure of A. Okay. Expense of A is 3 by 8 of the income of A. It is given here. Now, income of A should be a number which is divisible by 8. Okay, income of A should be taken as a number which is divisible by 8. Only then I can cancel out this with this, isn't it? So, income of A should be a number which is divisible by 8. But income of A was 5 here. Now, I have to take the income of A, such a number which is divisible by both 5 and 8. To multiply 5 and 8 and take the LCM, which is 40. So, make the income of A as 40 by multiplying this ratio with 8. Okay, so now this ratio changes to what? Now, this ratio changes to 5 is to 9. I have to multiply this ratio with 8, sorry. If I multiply this 5 is to 9 with 8, okay, it becomes how much? Income of A is to income of B becomes how much? 40 is to 72. If I multiply this ratio 5 is to 9 with 8, okay. Okay, next it is given that expenditure of A is 3 by 8 of the income of A, which is 40. So, in expenditure of A will be how much? 8 5 is 40 and 3 into 5 is 15. So the expense of A is 15 as per ratio, and the expenditure of B is given to be how much? 4 by 9 of his income. The expense of B is 4 by 9 of income of B, which is 72 as per ratio. So 9 8s are 72 and 4 8s are 32. So I have found out the incomes of A and expenditure of A, also the income of B and expense of B as per ratio. Now what is given? C, sum of their savings is 1950. So now I have to find out the savings of A and savings of B. So income of A is 40 minus expense of A is 15. So if I subtract income of A minus expense of A, I will be able to find what? Savings of A, which will be 25 as per ratio. Then savings of B will be how much? Income of B minus expense of B. Okay, income of B was 72 as per ratio minus expense of B is 32 as per ratio. So savings of B will be how much? 40 as per ratio. So savings of A is 25, savings of B is 40. Now total savings as per ratio will be how much? 25 plus 40 is 65. But in the question it is given to be how much? 1950. So 65 will represent rupees 1950. So 1 will be 30 because 65 into 3 is 195 and 10 will come. So 1 represents rupees 30. If 1 is 30, it is asked to find what? Difference between the incomes. Okay, difference between their incomes. So incomes of A is 40, incomes of B is 72. So difference will be how much? 72 minus 40 is 32 as per ratio. If 1 is 30, then what is 32? 32 into 30, which is 960. The right answer of this question number 10 is option number D, 960. So these were the questions of word problems from question number 6 to question number 10. So next we'll discuss from 11 to 15 will be a caselet DI, a data interpretation known as the caselet DI. So in this DI it is given that the total number of bags sold by all the 3 type of shopkeepers is 3300. So this question is based on what? Number of bags, leather and cloth sold by 3 shopkeepers A, B, C in a particular month. So our aim is to find out the number of bags, that is the leather and cloth bags sold by A, B and C respectively in this particular month. So A, B and C. So every shopkeeper sells 2 types of bags, leather and cloth. B also sells leather bags and cloth bags, and C also sells leather and cloth bags. Now our main aim in this DI is to find out the respective number of bags sold by the shopkeepers A, B and C. So let us start the DI here. It is given that the total number of bags sold by all the 3 shopkeepers is 3300. That is A plus B plus C total is 3300. Next, 33 1 by 3 percentage. Okay, 33 1 by 3 percentage in fraction is 1 by 3. Okay, 33 1 by 3 percentage in fraction it is 1 by 3. And 1 by 3 of total bags sold by is sold by shopkeeper B. Okay, 33 1 by 3 percent is 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 of total bags, which is 3300, is sold by shopkeeper B. So if I find 1 by 3 of 3300, it is what? 1100. So 1100 bags is sold by shopkeeper B. Now we know A plus B plus C is 3300. And from this total number of bags, if B sold 1100 bags, then if I subtract these 2 equations, I can find a value of what? A plus C, which will be 2200. So total number of bags sold by A plus C together is 2200. Okay, next part says that the ratio of total bags sold by A and C is 6:5. Okay, now total bags ratio is given, sold by A and sold by C, and we know total of A plus C is how much? 2200. So divide this in this ratio 6:5, isn't it, between A and C? So 6 plus 5 is 11. Now in the question 11 will represent how much? 2200. If 11 represents 2200, 1 represents 200. If 1 is 200, what is 6? 6 into 200, which will be 1200. and 5 represents 5 into 200, which will be 1000. So I have found out till now the total number of bags sold by A, B and C respectively. So next aim is to find out the number of leather and cloth bags, okay, sold by A, B and C. Next part is given that the ratio of the number of leather bags and cloth bags sold by A is 2:3. Okay. Now leather bags is to cloth bags sold by shopkeeper A is 2:3. So from here I can find out number of leather bags sold and cloth bags sold by A. Okay, 2 plus 3 is 5 as per ratio. Now this 5 will represent what? 1200. If 5 is 1200, then 1 is 240. If 1 is 240, then what is 2? 2 into 240, which will be 480. And 3 into 240 which will be 720. So these are the number of leather and cloth bags sold by shopkeeper A. Next, shopkeeper B sold leather bags 20 more than cloth bags. Okay, shopkeeper B sold what? Leather bags, which is 20 more than the number of cloth bags. If shopkeeper B sold X number of cloth bags, then shopkeeper B will sell how many cloth bags? Sorry, leather bags? X plus 20. Now total number of leather and cloth bags sold is how much? 1100. So X plus 20 plus X will be 1100. So X plus 20 plus X, okay, X plus 20 plus X, it becomes how much? Twice X plus 20. So twice X plus 20 will be how much? 1100. From here twice X value is how much? So 1100 minus 20 will be how much? 1080. Okay. And X will be how much? From here 1080 by 2, which is 540. So X was the number of cloth bags sold by B. So number of cloth bags sold by B is how much? 540. And X plus 20 will be how much? 540 plus 20, which is 560. So these are the leather and cloth bags sold by B. Okay, next part is given about the shopkeeper C. Okay, number of cloth bags sold by B. Okay, number of cloth bags sold by B, which was how much? 540. Okay, this 540 is 100 less than the number of cloth bags sold by C. Okay, now this 540 is 100 less than this value. That is the cloth bag sold by C. Now if cloth bag sold by C, if 540 is 100 less than cloth bag sold by C, then cloth bag sold by C is 100 more than 540, isn't it? So if I add 100 to this 540, I will get the number of cloth bags sold by C, which will be 640. Okay. Now total number of bags sold by C is 1000. So if I subtract 1000 minus 640, okay, 1000 minus 640, I will get what? The number of leather bags sold by C. Okay, it becomes how much? 360. So number of leather bags sold by C is 360. So I have found out all the values in this given DI. The number of leather and cloth bags sold by A, B, C I have found out. Also I know what? The total number of bags sold by A, B and C respectively. Now based on this information, I can solve the questions now one by one. So next in question number 11, it is asked to find what the difference between the number of leather bags sold by A and the number of cloth bags sold by B. Okay, leather bags sold by A minus cloth bags sold by B. Okay, leather bags sold by A was 480 minus cloth bags sold by B was 540. So 480 difference with 540. That is 540 minus 480. Always subtract larger number minus smaller number. It is 60. Answer is option number B, 60. Next is question number 12. It is asked to find what a ratio of the number of cloth bags sold by C to the number of leather bags sold by B. Okay, cloth bags sold by C is 2, leather bags sold by B. Okay, cloth bags sold by C is how much? 640. 640 is 2. Leather bags sold by B. Okay, leather bags sold by B is 560. So 640 is to 560. So just cancel out the common numbers here. Okay, 4 is common here. 4 16s are 64 and 4 14s are 56. Again 2 is common here. 2 8s are 16, 2 7s are 14. The right answer is option number D, which is 8:7. In question number 13, next question, it is asked to find what the number of cloth bags sold by A is what percentage more or less than the number of leather bags sold by C. Okay, number of cloth bags sold by A. Okay, cloth bags sold by A was how much? 720. So 720 is what percentage more or less than what? Number of leather bags sold by C. Okay, number of leather bags sold by C was how much? 360. So 720 is what percentage more than 360. To find what percentage more, always you need to find what? How much more? So 720 is how much more than 360? Subtract these two numbers. Okay, it gives how much? 360. Now 720 is how much more than 360? 720 is converted to 360. So 360 is the base into 100%. So it becomes 1 and answer will be 100%. Option number D. Next is the question of 14 of this DI. Average number of leather bags sold by B and cloth bags sold by A together. So average means leather bags sold by B plus cloth bags sold by A divided by 2. This is the average. Okay, leather bags sold by B plus cloth bags sold by A divided by 2. Now leather bags sold by B plus cloth bags sold by A. Okay, let me find out. Leather bag sold by B is 560 plus cloth bag sold by A is 720. Okay, so leather bag sold by B is 560 and the number of cloth bags sold by A is 720. So 560 plus 720 will be how much? 1280. So 1280 divided by 2. So I'll get the answer is how much? 640. Option number A. So students, let us discuss the last question of this data interpretation questions, question number 15 of this set. What percentage of cloth bags sold by shopkeeper C out of total number of cloth bags sold by all these 3 shopkeepers? That means I have to find what? Cloth bags sold by C is what percentage out of or what percentage of total cloth bags sold by all the 3 shopkeepers. Okay, cloth bags sold by C. Cloth bag sold by C is 640. Okay, cloth bag sold by C is 640. So 640 is what percentage out of or what percentage of the total cloth bags sold by all the 3 shopkeepers. If I add the total cloth bags sold by all the 3 shopkeepers, okay, it is 720 plus 540. It is how much? 1260. I have just found out. So 1260 plus 640. Okay, 1260 plus 640. It is how much? 1900. So 640 is what percentage of 1900? So how to find 640 divided by 1900 into 100%? So with 2020 will be cancel out. Then try to find the answer from here. All the options are in point. Okay, divide the number. Okay, if I divide 640 by 19, okay, 19 3s are 57. Okay, 70 will remain. Then 19 3s are 57. So answer will be 33 point something. Okay, 33 is in only one option. So no need to find out the other values. So answer will be obviously option number C. Okay, 33.68%. So these were the questions from 11 to 15, questions of data interpretation questions known as Kessler DI, questions based on ratio and percentage. So next will be the last set of questions from question number 16 to 20, questions based on a topic of quadratic inequalities. So in every question, 2 equations are there, 1 and 2. You have solve the equations and compare the values of x and y. So option number A is the answer if x is equal to y or if there is no relationship. Option number B is the answer if x is greater than y. Option number C is the answer if x is less than y. Option number D is the answer if x is greater than or equal to y. And answer is option number E if x is less than or equal to y. Now I have discussed such questions also in the previous part, that is a set A. So please do ask the first part and then we can solve these questions from 16 to 20. So x is root over 25. Now root over 25 is 5. Okay. So x will only have one value of x because the power of x is 1 or degree of x is 1. So x will only have one value. So x will be equal to 5. And y cube is 125. So we know 5 cube is 125. So y will be equal to 5. So answer will be what? X is equal to y. That is the option number E. Okay, x is equal to y. Next question number 17 is, it says that x square is 81 and y square is 64. So if x square is 81, now these are what equations? Quadratic equations. So I will get two values of x and two values of y because the power of this equation is 2. Now x will be equal to what? Root over 81 plus minus because there are two values of x. So one value of x is 9 and the other value of x is minus 9. So these are the values of x, 9 and minus 9. Then y square is 84, so y will be how much? Plus minus root over 64. So y will be again have two values, one is plus 8 and other is minus 8. Now if I try to compare x with y, okay, 9 is greater than 8, but 9 is again greater than minus 8. But minus 9 is less than 8. So there is no relationship between x and y because the sign changes from greater than to less than. And whenever the sign changes from greater than to less than or from less than to greater than, always the answer is no relation. The answer is option number E again, no relation. Now, in such questions, you don't need to find out the values of x and y to give the answer no relation. You can just give the answer by just seeing the sign. Okay, see how to approach such questions easily. Now, always before solving such equations, always I have to convert to the standard form of quadratic equation, which is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. This is the standard form or general form of a quadratic equation, which is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So, if I convert this equation, both these equations to this form, the first equation becomes what? X square minus 81 is 0. And the second equation becomes y square minus 64 is 0. And if c is negative, okay, here c is negative, c is minus 81. And also here c is negative, c is minus 64. So if the values of c, okay, if the values of c is negative in both the equations, always the answer is no relation. Always. You don't need to find out the values of x and y to give the answer no relation. You can just give the answer by just seeing the signs of c only. So since both the equations c is negative, answer will be no relation, which is option number E. So next will be question number 18. In this equation, I have to find out the values of x and y. Okay, first multiply a and c. It becomes 40. I have to break 40 into two numbers so that the sum of these numbers is b, which is minus 13, and the product is 40. So how to break 40? I have to break as how, what? Minus 8 and minus 5. Okay, minus 8 and minus 5 is minus 13, and minus 8 into minus 5 is plus 40. So this is the most important step, how to break out. Next step, what to do? Divide both these numbers by a, which is 1 here, and change the sign. So minus minus becomes what? Plus plus. So values of x are 8 and 5. So these are the values of x. So the next equation is given there, 2y square minus y minus 15 is 0. So first multiply a and c. 2 into minus 15 is minus 30. Next step is the most important step. I have to break minus 30 into two numbers in such a way that the sum of these numbers should be b, which is minus 1 here. So sum should be minus 1, product should be minus 30. So how to break the numbers? I have to break as what? Minus 6 and 5. The sum of these numbers is minus 1 and the product of these numbers is minus 30. In the next step, what to do? Divide both these numbers by a and change the sign. So if I divide 6 by a, okay, a is 2 here. If I divide 6 by 2, I get 3. And if I divide 5 by 2, I get 2.5. But change the sign also. So minus becomes plus and plus becomes minus. So these are the values of y, 3 and minus 2.5. So next step is to compare x and y. So 8 is greater than 3. Also 8 is greater than minus 2.5. 5. That is x is greater than y till now. 5 is greater than 3. Also 5 is greater than minus 2.5. So the answer will be what? X is greater than y, which is option number A. Okay, the answer of this question is x is greater than y. If I see the options here, answer will be option number B. Okay, not A, because A was what? X equal to y or no relation. Okay, so x is greater than y. The answer is option number B. Okay, not option number A, option number B, x is greater than y. So next is question number 19. Okay, now I have to convert any equation to the standard form, which is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So let me convert both these equations to the standard form. Now if I convert the first equation to that form, it becomes what? 17x square minus 14x minus 83 plus 80 equal to 0. So it becomes what? 17x square minus 14x minus 3 equal to 0. And the second equation becomes what? Y square minus 2y minus 35 will be equal to 0. Because always in the first step, before solving any equation, your aim is to convert to the form which is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now after converting to this form, both the equations, you can see clearly here, the value of c is negative here. C is minus 3 in the first equation and the value of c is minus 35 in the second equation. So if the values of c is negative in both the quadratic equation, so always the answer is what? No relation. You don't need to find the values of x and y and then compare. Okay, you just can give the answer by seeing the signs of c. If c is negative in both the equations, so always the answer is option number A, that is the no relation. So students, let us discuss the last question of this set of questions, question number 20. 5x square plus 17x plus 6 is equal to 0. So already it is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is 0, where a is 5, b is 17 and c is 6. So your first step is what? To multiply a and c. 6 into 5 is 30. Next step is the most important step. The sum of these two numbers should be b, which should be 17, and product should be 30. So sum should be 17, product should be 30. So how to break? I have to break as what? 15 and 2. In the next step, divide by a and change the sign. So if I divide 15 by 5, I get 3. And if I divide 2 by 5, I get 0.4. And change the sign. So plus plus becomes what? Minus minus. So these are the values of x, minus 3 and minus 0.4. Second equation is in terms of y. Again, it is of the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a is 2, b is 11 and c is 12. So first multiply a and c, I get 24. Next step is the most important. The sum of these two numbers should be 11, that is the b, and the product should be 24. So I have to break as what? 8 and 3. Because 8 plus 3 is 11 and 8 into 3 is 24. In the next step, repeat the same process in the last step. Divide by a and change the sign. So if I divide this 8 by 2, I get 4. And if I divide this 3 by 2, I get 1.5. So and change the sign. So plus plus becomes what? Minus minus. So values of y are minus 4 and minus 1.5. So next step is to compare x and y. So minus 3 is greater than minus 4 and minus 3 is less than minus 1.5. Okay, whenever the sign changes, okay, minus 3 is greater than minus 4 but minus 3 is less than minus 1.5. So whenever the sign changes from greater than to less than or from less than to greater than, so always the answer is what? No relation. So correct answer of this question number, last question 20, is option number A, no relation. So students, these were the 20 questions of set B. Okay, so please do watch these two parts, set A and set B, from starting till the end, so that you will get concepts clear of these important topics asked in the examination. So if you have liked this video, please don't forget to share this video with your friends and also press the bell icon so that you will get notifications about different videos in the future. So till then, meet you in the next class. Thank you all.